If you are like me, I'm touched. We are all touched very deeply, and I think you can see the source from which the senator drew such great spiritual sustenance. Thank you, Regis. Our next speaker is Manley Begay. He's a member of the Navajo Nation, a professor at the University of Arizona, and a founding director of the Native Nations Institute of the Morris K. Udall Foundation. Manley?
Good morning. And aloha. Thank you, Brother Regis, for reminding us of our duty and responsibility and reminding us of who we are. And thank you to my sister, Patricia, for taking care of our beloved senator all these years. And Ken, thank you for being here. And your family as well. May there be many blessings come to you and your family. I think today is definitely a wonderful day. One of the reasons why it's wonderful is because we are celebrating the life of Senator Daniel Inouye, the son of Hawaii and of Indian country. It's an honor to be asked to speak at the celebration because Senator Inouye, his life is full of accomplishments. I was fortunate to have known Senator Inouye while I served for many years as a trustee of the National Museum of the American Indian. This beautiful building that we're in, as well as the buildings in Suitland, Maryland, and Lower Manhattan, would not be here if we didn't have the senator's full support and commitment. We are truly grateful for his leadership in the planning and building of the National Museum of the American Indian. It's a little known fact that the senator, besides being a long-standing policymaker and an ardent supporter of NMAI, he was also a matchmaker. In 1999, we, the senator and I, were invited as guest speakers to a conference at Northern Arizona University in Flagstaff. Then suddenly, his wife Maggie, whom he was married to for 57 years, became ill, and he had to tend to her. He truly loved Maggie. So he wasn't able to make it to the conference. I gave my talk the first day of the conference, and I was ready to leave when I was asked to stay another day and speak in the spot of the senator. I consented. So I stayed an extra day, and thank goodness I did, because that's when I met my wife-to-be. So the senator was not only a successful policymaker, he was a pretty good matchmaker as well. His wife Maggie passed on in 2006. After some time, he married his second wife, Irene, in 2008. I remember that even though the senator is larger than life to most of us, when he married again, he was giddy in love like a teenager. He was so happy. The senator was truly one of a kind. His life embodied a wonderful spirit full of purpose and determination. His purpose was to ensure that justice prevail for all of Indian country. And he was determined to help us strengthen our communities and families. In all he did as a policymaker, he never forgot the first peoples of this land, us, the native peoples. He remembered the meaning of our treaties with the United States, and he let others know of them. He never forgot the place of American Indian veterans and spoke often of their dedication and service. He worked hard to ensure that we, as the First Peoples, would take our rightful place in society at the head. He encouraged us to take heart and do what needed to be done for the coming generations. As he strove for purpose and determination, the core values he manifested were respect, honesty, love, and courage. He was forever respectful of native peoples. He was honest. He had much love for us. He was courageous in all he did on our behalf. In turn, we recognize what he stood for, what he did, and we were obliged to return the favor. Years ago, he was given a Navajo name. He was named the leader who has returned with a plan. Natanin hanatza. He was invited to give a speech once at an economic development conference on the eastern part of the Navajo Nation. So he flew into Gallup, New Mexico, and stayed at a hotel there. And he tells the story of how he was whisked away early in the morning from the hotel before the sun came up, and he was taken to the top of a mountain, and a new name was bestowed upon him by a prominent medicine man. At that moment, he was also made an honorary citizen of the Navajo Nation. For all these years, he was appreciative of that particular moment. He knew he was deeply loved and respected. One of our most notable and respected leaders, Peterson Zaw, tells a story about the senator that goes full circle. This story shows his respectfulness and love for us. Pete gave the senator a woven Navajo rug years ago, and the rug always hung on the wall of the senator's office. After he passed on, the senator left instructions to have the rug returned to Pete. Pete told me the other day that he received the rug back recently. This conduct of respect also shows the senator's unselfish act of reciprocity. And reciprocity is a key indigenous value of life. The senator understood it well, and he's understood us well. With the senator's passing, there really seems to be a huge void. How shall we move forward without Senator Daniel Inouye? What are we to do? Who can we turn to? I am comforted knowing that the senator would not have left us without knowing that we were in good hands. He would not have left us without knowing that he laid down a good foundation for us to follow. He left us with a rich legacy deeply embedded with the core values of respect, honesty, love, and courage. He exhibited these values through his personal conduct. He carried himself with respect, honesty, love, and courage. Whenever he spoke to us, he reminded us of the true meaning of aloha. Above all things, he would say, aloha means love. He told us to never forget where we came from. He reminded us again and again that family is the center of who we are. With lifetime assistance from the leader who has returned with a plan, not anin hanatza, we can answer the following questions more clearly and directly. What legacy do we want to leave? My brother Regis reminded us of that question. What kind of native societies do we want to build in the future? In thinking of our grandchildren and those not yet born, how do we want them to live? By the way, Regis and I didn't get together and, figure out what we were going to speak about. How do we want them to be? What kind of clothes do we want them to wear? What language or languages do we want them to speak? How do we want them to pray? What kind of homes do we want them to live in? Where do we want them to live? What kind of jobs do we want them to have? What kind of education do we want them to have? In other words, how do we want our children and those that are not yet born to evolve? All in all, the kind of society we want to build is really up to us as Indian people. We, however, have a mentor to emulate, Senator Inouye. And I think the time is right. We are in an age of assertion of sovereignty never before seen in the history of the United States. It appears we are more and more in control of our own lives, rather than being controlled by the state government and the federal government. But we have many battles yet to fight. How will we rise to the occasion that has been afforded us today? As we move through the era of indigenous nation rebuilding, let us have courage. Be honest in all we do. Exhibit love, love one another, and show respect for all things. We have a lot of hard work ahead of us. However, it is lighter and clearer because of Senator Daniel Inouye. Aloha.